Hi guys, this is David, and welcome to the ranking of the jobs in Final Fantasy Tactics. My job ranking video of Final Fantasy V blew up, and a lot of people were asking, hey, would you rank the jobs in Final Fantasy Tactics? And I'm here to say, yes, I will. I got this game when I was 15 years old, and I have played it extensively. I love this game, still have my copy right here. And I've played through with a whole bunch of various different job classes and combinations using my strategy guide, still have, that is literally falling apart at the seams. The pages are coming out. I've played this game so many times with different combinations and everything. So we're going to be looking at the basic generic job classes here. No special job classes, no monster job classes, none of that. I just don't really want to clog up the list. So let's go ahead and get started.
Number 20, the Mime. Not a fan. First of all, you have to master like every single class known to man just to access the stupid thing, and then it's completely worthless. The shtick is that you can copy stuff for free, but that's also the problem because you copy it exactly. Let's say that a mage casts a spell 2 squares in front of him to kill an enemy unit. Then the mime will copy the spell and also cast it 2 squares in front of him, regardless if there's an enemy there, and they can even damage your allies too. So unless you build your entire party around them, they're just too much of a pain in the ass to really use properly. Number 19, the Bard. Similar to the mime, this guy is just more trouble than he's worth. Just to get him, you have to completely screw over one of your male units. Then, at the end of the game, when you finally unlock him, he can buff and heal. Big whoop. It's saying something when the Bard's best ability is his lowly move +3. Number 18, the Priest. Normally, I'm the one championing the healers in RPGs. However, in Tactics, offense is the name of the game. I guess what I really don't like about them is the charge time involved with healing. And because of targeting, most of the time you'll end up healing the enemy as well. It's just so much better to throw a potion with 0 downtime. Number 17, the Archer. It's funny that this game was directly inspired by Tactics Ogre, and there, the Archer class is one of the most powerful. However, here, it's just trash. The charge skill tree is absolute garbage, and if you want to attack at a distance, you're much better off with a mage class or an advanced fighting class like the monk. Number 16, the Mediator. What a crap class this is. Unless you actually want monsters on your team for some godforsaken reason, or you want to spend hours raising up your faith, this guy has nothing going for him at all. He can use guns, so I guess there's that, but otherwise, avoid him like the plague. Number 15, the Squire. This is the basic physical class, and the only reason it's this high is because it's useful for the first few fights before Dorter, whereas the prior classes listed really aren't useful in any fights whatsoever. Let's not forget that they also have the amazing gained JP Plus skill for quicker grinding, so get that support skill ASAP and move on. Number 14, the Knight. For a very early game physical class, the Knight is surprisingly decent. I mean, he's not going to win any awards or anything, but he can easily carry you through Chapter 1 if need be. He can break weapons and armors and stats, which is nice, but I hardly use those abilities. He's pretty much just there to tank and hit things during the first chapter. Number 13, the Thief. There's always a part of me that gravitates towards more esoteric jobs. Thieves are fun to play around with early on, and much later on, it's always nice to be able to steal some unique equipment. I normally keep one around at the end of the first chapter so I can grab steel weapon and accessory, then move on to some more advanced physical jobs. Number 12, the Geomancer. In Final Fantasy V and VI, Geomancer abilities can pretty much one-shot random encounters, but here, you'll be lucky if they deal over about 30 damage. Yeah, they can add extra status ailments, but who really cares? Also, the axes can either do like 100 damage or 2. There's really no telling. I guess the attack up support skill is okay, but it's not really worth changing into this class just to get it. Number 11, the Dancer. Of the 3 difficult classes to obtain, the Dancer is probably the best one because, again, offense is where it's at. And while the Bard specializes in buffing and healing all your units from a distance, the Dancer does the opposite, keeping her distance while damaging and debuffing every single unit. And over time, believe me, it does add up. Number 10, the Oracle. I really like this class. They're just so much fun to play around with. Of the mages, they're the most physically orientated with their access to sticks, but not only that, Silence can remove a mage from a fight for good, and Blind can pretty much do the same for a physical unit, and they have infinite duration. Not only that though, Drain Life always drains 1/4 of the maximum HP of a unit, so if you want, you can just cast it 4 times and kill even the final boss. Number 9, the Lancer. 2 words here: ignore height. This is without a doubt probably the one most broken skill in the entire game. And while the jump skill tree is pretty good too, I typically find myself going straight for ignore height and then moving on to other jobs. This one skill can pretty much cut the difficulty of the game like a hot knife through butter. Number 8, the Chemist. For a basic class, they're great, and they're easily the best and most versatile healer in the entire game. And later on in Chapter 2, they can become a valuable part of your offensive strategy with their incredibly useful long-range elemental guns. A Chemist with a secondary magical support skill such as Time or Yin Yang Magic really rounds out the party very nicely. Oh, and Auto Potion? Best skill ever! Number 7, the Ninja. Not only does the Ninja have the absolute best movement and jump range in the entire game, but they have the amazing dual weld skill, which allows them to attack with 2 weapons. They are a killer. However, as a ninja, they probably shouldn't be on the front lines too much, but learning it as a support skill is probably the best move that you could do for your tanks. Number 6, the Wizard. This guy just steamrolls everything, and you get him right at the beginning of the game. For the most part, hitting a monster's elemental weakness with your best magical unit is pretty much an insta-kill here. Also, magic attack up is forever useful, and the Wizard spells can be a great secondary skill for any magical class. Number 5, the Time Mage. Normally, while I like playing around with off-kilter classes, I've never really been a fan of time magic. Manipulating ATB can be useful, but it was never really necessary. But tactics changed all that, and here, the Time Mage simply kicks ass. Demi is a boss destroyer, haste is ridiculous, and quick is just downright overpowered. Not to mention Meteor, which might as well just be instant death to anything that it touches. Number 4, the Monk. I love this guy. Not only is he quick, strong, fast, and easy to access, but his skill set is off the chain. Every single one of his abilities are useful in multiple situations, and moves like Earth Slash have massive range across the field, while other skills like Chakra are perfect for healing and status recovery. The Monk is probably the most versatile tank that you can have. Number 3, the Samurai. Here we have the ultimate physical class, combining the strength and stamina of a knight with the speed of a ninja and the versatility of the monk. A really nice facet of their draw-out ability is that it does differentiate between friend and foe when healing or dealing damage, and he's able to use 2 hands right off the bat. As probably the best melee class, the Samurai always has a place in my party. Number 2, the Summoner. I always like getting a Summoner as soon as humanly possible because they're just a wrecking machine. Normally spells only hit like a 5 square grid, but summons hit absolutely enormous areas for huge amounts of damage. And, like the samurai's draw-out abilities, they can tell the difference between your allies and the enemies. Not only are they great for clearing out randoms, but you can heal too. There's nothing not to like. And number 1, to no one's surprise, the calculator. Yeah, the actual job stats completely blow, but come on. He's like the most overpowered class ever. Did they even playtest this? The calculator can cast any magic spell that you currently know for free and without a charge time too, to anyone who meets the criteria. For example, you choose a number and then something like level, height, or CT time, and then the calculator spells will hit any unit that meets that calculation. It sounds like a pain, but believe me, all you'll be doing is inflicting massive pain on any of the saps who happen across your path. It's just unreal. Well, that's it for the jobs of Final Fantasy Tactics ranked. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and how would you rank the jobs? Do you agree or disagree? And if you like this video and what I do here on the channel, please consider supporting me on Patreon. The link to it can be found in the video description. If you like this, please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a good day.